Okay. So I hope you are clear, right? So till now, any questions?
Yeah.
Srinivas, I'll come back to all this, but entire best overview, I'm giving the framework structure, how it will be, and what are the best practices we followed, and we need to follow when designing the framework. Okay, so that best practices we followed, and that I am giving. Okay,
Yeah, sure.
so that's how you can design the test case, but I'll come to all this test.describe and test. So what is this tag and all this? I'll come to that. So don't worry about that.
And same
And
applies to the API, the
API,
whatever the concepts we
exactly.
discussed. Okay.
Same applies to the API also. See,
Okay.
that's what I did even this. See, can you see here? I used this is the class I have created
Okay. Okay.
under pages, right? So under pages, I created a booking API. So in the API, I have created this class. So you can see booking API. This is the class. This class I already created here in the base API fixers. So as you can see, I created this API booking API. This is the custom fixer I created. Can you see? This is the way you can do that. Same for the pages also. Booking API, async API context, use. See, one reference variable you are giving and new booking API. You can do the same for the other UI pages also. This is the custom fixers we call them. Okay. So this one I'm using in the test cases. This custom fixer I'm using in the test cases. So that's what here. This is a async inside you will write a fixer names, your custom fixer names. And then remaining everything, I'll explain this, all this. So how you will write a test and test.describe means what. And there are some hooks. We'll discuss those hooks also. Okay, so Chaitanya, this is the one fixer you can prepare like this for your APIs.
Yeah. Okay.
As it is, you can put. See, I'm covering API context. This is a common thing, and and you have to pass for your the APIs based on your feature. Based on the feature, you can create all of them. So, but I have created a reusable functions here in the base API, all the reusable methods. So you can see that. Let me show you this because you need this desperately. See, get method. So what I'm passing for the get method, endpoint, expected status, headers. So you know this optional parameter, right? Question mark. So
This is the TS, right?
yeah,
The one what you are showing is base API.ts is nothing but common functions
common functions.
wrote in the base APIs, right?
Base API. That you can extend here in this booking API. See,
Okay, got it.
I
Okay,
extend
so
it.
oh,
See, I
okay,
extend base API. So I can call that function directly.
okay, get with
Get.
200 status.
You are
Okay,
getting directly right this dot get method.
okay,
So you're getting directly. You don't need to write every time this entire logic here, right? So this API context dot. So all those things you don't need to write this dot API context dot get method. You don't need to write the entire thing.
okay.
And I'm so writing this, but this you should not do here. But yeah, so you can do in the test cases. So this is a wrong concept. But yeah, I did a basic no verification. But yeah, if you want, you can do that. Otherwise, you can do in the test cases because you are getting a response, right? From this response, you can do that. Okay.
But here, didn't you wrote the contract one? API how for API contract testing?
You are giving here,
That
right? The endpoint you are giving headers and
okay,
the contract means this is the one. So you give endpoint and payload.
okay, okay.
Expected status, headers. You're giving everything in the method itself. And that contract I'm developing here.
Where expected and everything, right?
Where your respective feature, right? There I'm
Yeah.
developing the contract here. Can you see this? The booking ID I developed here. And this,
Okay.
now you can call this function directly.
Okay.
So
Makes sense.
This is how we can develop for the APIs.
Yeah.
For all of them, see, you can pass even headers also, and even tokens you can pass. Everything you can do so whatever you want. See, even tokens I'm generating and I'm getting those tokens. So it's very clearly written. This one you can use as it is.
Okay.
Okay. And the next last one, not last one, one more component is a crucial one is there. So utils. Utils is basically your utility classes. Under that classes, see, I have created CSV reader, data reader, schema validator. You need this one, Chaitanya. This you can complete structure. You can validate, right? That is the
Yeah,
schema
the response structure, right? Okay.
response and both request structures. Any
Okay.
structure, the schema validation, right? Both request also has a schema, right?
Yeah. Okay.
That
Yeah. Yeah.
also we can validate whether the developer is missing any one field or developer is adding any new field. You can easily catch with the schema validation.
So what will be the input, Ramesh, for this one? The API spec, right?
Yeah, API spec. You can give that.
Okay.
But so you have to give this schemas I prepared already. I'll give that. So see what you need to give data and schema object you have to pass for this.
Makes
So
sense.
both, I'll explain this. Okay,
Yeah.
later maybe we can connect. Next, so that's all utils, all the utility methods.
So the DB connections explicitly, are we keeping in utils or,
You
for
can create
example,
utils. You can create utils in the under utils. You can create a DB utils.
oh, under utils, DB
Put it
utils,
in the
and
utils only. Put it in the utils only.
okay,
DB utils. One more under utils. You can create one more file. DB utils.
okay,
Okay,
makes sense. Yeah.
that you can call. Next, and crucial one, Playwright config. This is the starting point for your entire Playwright file, Playwright test cases. So let's go to top. So you can see here, read environment variables from file. I'm reading that. So load env file, I am loading and I'm just calling process.env.envid. If you pass, this env ID will be given to this. The environment name you will give dev, QA, prod, right? That is what env ID means. That you will pass in the command CLI in the command prompt. CLI means command prompt. If you pass, it will take. Otherwise, the default one I'm giving the dev. I'm telling, okay, take dev as a default. If you don't pass any environment ID. So then I'm calling this method here. First, see the first line, I'm loading the which environment you want to run. First, that is important, right? To launch your application URL and which environment you want to run. So that is what I'm running in the first. So in the config file. Then so I already mentioned, so the modules, we have one default export, right? That's what this define config, all the configurations of Playwright you will define here. So where is your test directory? The test folder. This is the test folder. So automatically it will look for your test cases under this test folder. Under the test folder, whatever the files and folders are there, it will go and execute all the spec.ts files one by one. And fully parallel, so if you want to run parallel execution, you can mark it as a true. And so this one is, so fail the build on CA if you accidentally left test dot only in the source code. If you write a test dot only means only that test you are running. So I'm asking to no fail it. So retry mechanism, this is the retry mechanism. So if it is in the CI, try 2 times. If it is not CI, try 1 time. I'm giving this. So this is all, okay, ternary operator we call this. This is the ternary operators we call this. So I miss it in the TypeScript, but this is the way you will use mostly these concepts. So what is this? Exactly similar to if else. You have if else in the conditions, right? That is the exactly, this is the condition. This is the condition. If this condition is true, the question mark part will execute. If condition is false, the colon part will execute. So I missed this in the TypeScript, but this is the common thing in another programming language also. This is called ternary operators. Okay, please remember this. Even in the coding, if else, if you want to reduce number of lines, all these brackets and thing, this is the very, very useful one. And this ternary operator returns the output to you. So that output you are storing in another variable. So the retrace, how many retrace you want, you are just discussing that. Then workers. So the parallel you put a fully parallel, right? True. But how many workers you want to run? Workers means basically number of instances. So number of browsers you want to start. So each browser, one test case will go and run there. So that is the one. If it is a CI, one worker I'm saying. If it is not CI, you launch 5 workers. Automatically, you can increase. There is no doubt at all. Even the CI mode, you can increase the number of workers here. So this is the parallel configuration. See how simple it is. In Selenium, you have to write a lot of code for this.
Yeah.
So much code you have to write. But this is the so easy. So they made. So that's why people are loving this tool, and it's a wonderful tool, obviously. Another one I like, so Cypress. Cypress also similar kind of configurations only. In the configurations, that is also a very, very good tool, that one also. And see, you all clear this, right? These configurations. Then reporter.
Ramesh, can you tell that line number 22nd once again? What is that?
So
Forbid only.
forbid only means, see, if you mention in your spec files anywhere the test, right? Test methods. Test dot only if you mention anywhere. You just accidentally missed and test dot only. And I'm saying
Fail
entirely
it.
the build, you fail it. But if you don't want, you don't need to write this, okay? Forbid means don't execute that.
Don't execute. Okay.
So that's what the meaning of that.
Even if we have a build issues also, we need to
You can
fail
write.
it.
Yeah.
Build, obviously, that no need of writing that
Yeah,
one,
no
right?
need
It
of
won't.
running, right? So that's
Okay.
what where you can do that. Okay. So next one, reporter. So what kind of reports you want? So where is your output folder? So generally we want HTML report. If you click on that, you should get them. So then, see the Allure report you asked, right? This is the one you have to mention. So Allure
No,
report.
it's by default. It's simple one line comment.
One line, simple one line. It's all very, very easy ones. You want a JSON report or a JUnit report, you can get that also. So output file with this file name, it will create automatically. So under output folder, Playwright report folder will create. Under that, you will get a HTML file, index.html file you will get. So that is the reporter. See how easy to specify these reports. And there you have to use a lot of things and in Selenium. And this kind of easy configurations you won't get there. Okay. So now you can tell, okay, use these configurations. for my base URL. You decide the base URL, process.env.base URL or process.env.api base. Because I have APIs and both, right? Or generally only this one is enough. Or you want to explicitly specify your URL, you can specify. And I mentioned I want base URL or API base URL. Okay, both I mentioned. So this will take automatically this base URL to run your test cases. Trace, I mentioned, right? Trace viewer. This is the one, trace on. So this trace viewer also, there are a lot of options. So you want on, off, you can do a lot of no configurations we have. Let me show you that. Off you can do. Just put a space bar and you will get all the different options. See, off, on all retries, on first retry, retain on failure, retain on first failure. See the lot of good options they have provided. So you want a trace file. So when or all the time you want, you put on. All retrace you want, you can select the third option. On first retry only you want a trace file, you can put fourth option. Only on failure only you want, so you can put retain on failure. Or the first failure, select the next option. So this is the good.
So if it is on for pass also, it will take a trace, right?
Off means it won't take.
No, on. If it is on
Means every time it will take.
for every time, even it is pass or okay.
Yeah. Pass or fail, it will take. So
It's a kind of recording, right? Trace is nothing.
Recording. Your network calls will be traced.
Okay.
Minute by second, that you can see the screens also. Each second what is happening, what you have typed, and everything you will see. Time-based travel. Time travel based your screens.
Request and okay.
Screen. That you can see that. That is a one good feature. I love this feature and easy to debug. You can.
But where these are stored, Ramesh, you kept trace as on. So we need to give explicitly to.
In the report, you will get this automatically. It will attach it to this report automatically.
Oh, okay. So no need
That's
of.
another thing. See, we haven't written any code, right?
Yeah.
This trace will go and attach to this HTML report.
Okay, nice.
Then screenshots also, it will go and attach to this HTML report. Video also, it will go and attach to this HTML report. That is the beauty of this. See, you don't need to write any code, a single line, how you want, when you want. So that is what. So headless means your test cases will run in without opening your browser. That's called headless. Headed you want, you can explicitly mention hyphen headed. You can give that in the command prompt while running if you want. Even though you specified here, you can override this configuration by mentioning in the command line hyphen headed view. Your browser will open and you can see what is happening in the browser. But anyway, this will show a trace file, but still you want to see while running time, and you can use this headed or headless mode. Both ways you can run your test cases with a simple configurations. Screenshot.
Question. So headless is equal to how about that API? API it's same applies to
You
headless.
don't need, right? It will by default, it will run in the backend only.
Backend, yeah. So no need of this one for the
No need
API,
of
right?
this one.
Okay.
It doesn't open any browser at all.
Right. Okay.
So that is the one. And screenshot only on failure. Screenshot is on failure only. You take the screenshot, I am telling. So in Selenium, how much code we need to write? So you have to write, and listeners you have to write. In the listeners, you have to call. There is a interface method we have to implement in our custom classes. On test failure, you have to call this method a screenshot method. So that's all. No, very complex code in the Selenium. That's why people are moving away from Selenium, because if the framework is already developed, no need to do by every individual engineer, but still, who is developing the framework, you need to take care of a lot of things there. But this one is a simple configurations. I just want to uh, convey here. So video, entire execution video, it will be taken, so that you can easily find out, right, what is happening in each, a second with this. That is what this return and failure, the videos. This is all about the to see the failure where it is failing, easy to debug, right? You can easily find out where is the problem. So that much no care taken by this Playwright guys. We have to give a kudos to Microsoft. So the last part. So this is the one, projects. So projects is nothing but a browsers. Which browser you want to run. So what are the browsers you specified here? So like a Chromium. So you can run desktop Chromium and Firefox. See, this is the array. Projects is an array inside each object. So each object you are specifying one browser. So Chromium, Firefox, WebKit, and mobile Chrome. So we can write even pixels, Safari browsers, the mobile simulators. These are mobile simulators. Test Ignite mobile viewports. So that's mobile viewports you can run, and branded browsers like Microsoft Edge and Google Chrome. So you have to give Microsoft Edge and my Google Chrome. This one you have to give. Other than this, whatever you have given here, right? Use devices, desktop, Firefox. You have to give like this. Devices, desktop, Edge, channel, MS Edge you have to give. Okay. So why we have to give this is a Chromium. These are the Microsoft Edge and Google Chrome are Chromium are the browsers. So that's why we have to mention channel Chrome. So that's how to mention for this browsers. So now you mentioned all these browsers, right? If you don't specify in your command prompt clearly --- project, uh, any browser, if you don't specify, what will happen? Your test cases will run on all these browsers automatically if you don't specify a project in the command prompt. So that means cross-browser testing, it is happening. So same test case will run on all the browsers. So it will run on Chromium first, Firefox, Safari, mobile, then Edge and Chrome. Same test case will run on all these projects. So it will take time, right? So to run on all the browsers, but you can run parallelly. So 5 workers will run, or 6 workers, it's up to you how many workers you want to run. So that is the browsers while running. Make sure in the pipeline you give only one browser, not required in all the browsers. Maybe locally if you want to test cross browser testing, you can use this, but in the pipeline it will be so it will become very problematic. Okay, so that is all about configurations. Any questions?
So can you show me? You said all test cases will run in this browser, right? If I want to run only, for example, login page.ts.
Yeah,
So,
let me show you. So
so
I'll
if
go here. One more I want to explain. Package.json. Okay, let me show you here. So package.json is nothing but dependencies will be stored here. All you will mention your dependencies. So can you see here dependencies? AZV formats, Allure.js commons, .env, CSV parse, and then Playwright dev dependencies, Playwright test dependency, types. So Allure command line, Allure Playwright, cross env. These are the dependencies you will specify in the package.json. Like in the Java cell, and we have pom.xml, Maven project if you create. pom.xml will be there. In the pom.xml, you will specify all the dependencies. So those dependencies will be stored in this package.json. That's the
So
package.
Ramesh, one question here. So where these dependencies are getting downloaded? Is it from a public artifactory?
When you set up the simple command, right? npm command you will give to install Playwright.
Right.
Time
These packages all okay.
automatically this file will create automatically.
No, the reason why I'm asking is these are
Mm.
the dependencies which are coming not part of Playwright NPM, the third party dependencies.
That is
Are those
the node, right? You will install node in your system.
okay?
So if you want to execute any node package manager related commands, you should install first node in your machine.
Okay.
That is the prerequisite. Like Java, right? We should have a Java in our machine to execute all Java projects. So if you want to execute any JavaScript and TypeScript related, you should have a node in your system.
So no need of maintaining any type of packages internally, meaning, for
No.
example, every organization has their internal Artifactory repository, right? Whenever we are doing in downloading certain packages, it's
From
getting
JFrog Artifactory you're talking?
yeah, JFrog Artifactory, yeah.
So JFrog Artifactory also you can get them. You can get them.
Okay.
You can mention here. So that you can install from JFrog Artifactory. You can give that versions and
Uh,
automatically it will install here.
okay.
Package.json. Only that versions will come from JFrog only.
JFrog, okay.
Yeah. And so let me show you here how I beautifully designed to run your test cases. Can you see here?
Yes.
So if I want to run my test case, UI test cases, all UI test cases, cross env, nvid dev, npx playwright test. This is the command to run. You can give this test SAS demo folder --- project Chromium so that it will run only on Chromium browser. So I don't need to give this entire line of line. I don't need to remember, right? So simply I can come and I can give this npm test npm run test UI. Simple. The shortcut I have given this shortcut you can use here. So it is taking only Chromium browser. So it is deciding, okay? So it has to run only test UI folder related, SAS demo folder related test cases. See, 24 tests using 5 workers. Okay, that's the simple commands you can develop here in the scripts folder in the package.json. See, I want to run API test cases. I can just give this, that's it. See, cross env, nvq, I have designed that. So it will run automatically there. And you want to run Heroku app test case, this is the one. And test all, test headed mode if you want to run, I can give this one. And Allure
But
generate.
for the API you gave project, right? Is it required, Ramesh?
So otherwise it will run on all the projects.
No, no, no. A Chromium meaning it doesn't, API
Yes,
doesn't.
no. So basically this, what will happen is, whatever the projects you specified in the, even if to the API also, if you don't mention in the Playwright config, these
Mhm.
projects, you can, if you don't want, you can disable this. Okay. For API, you don't need them, right? You can
Okay.
disable them. You don't need them. But
Okay.
for if you don't mention, it will run those API tasks in all the browsers. That's why I mentioned there one project at least.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah.
If you know for your API, you don't want any project, remove that section from the Playwright config. Then you
Oh,
don't
then it won't run.
mention here.
Okay.
Then you
Okay.
don't mention this command, so that --- project option.
Okay.
Okay. But if you mention there, at least you need to run, you need to give that command. Otherwise, it won't work. Okay, but these are all failing, but fine. So, okay, so it is running all of them. We'll see that why they are failing. We can ask. All right. So we can run, retry, and do that. See, this load env is loaded for dev. It is clearly saying, see, env.dev is loaded. So that kind of provision we have provided. Okay. Any questions here before winding up? Tomorrow I'll explain in detail. We'll go for the Playwright concepts tomorrow. Then once we understand the Playwright concepts, then we'll set up all this frame.
Yeah.
So is that good?
Yeah, tomorrow same time, Ramesh?
Same time, morning, your evening, right? So for your evening, we have a say 7:30, right? 7:30. My Indian time 7:30. So for you, it
That is
will
my
be
9 o'clock.
9. Yeah,
9 p.m., right?
9 p.m. Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So we'll continue.